Alright guys, here's what we're going to do today. I got another horn. You guys seem to enjoy that ah-ooh-gah horn that we got working again. So I pulled this out of the shed. I think I paid $5 for this show. I usually don't pay more than $5 for a horn. But I like this one because it was in such good shape. This isn't an ah-ooh-gah. This one here is just a regular horn. Matter of fact, it's probably got a pretty lousy sound, you know, like just a you know, like a crazy cartoon horn. But anyway, what I liked about it was, I don't know if you can see it, but this horn, let me see, I got some water here. Sometimes if you put a little water on stuff, you can see it. I don't know if you can read that, but that says the Electric Auto-Lite Company, 81, Toledo. Need to throw some light on it, that might help. Sometimes light helps and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, but there you go. The Electric Auto-Lite Company, 81 is probably the model. Toledo, Ohio, that's where it was made. But anyway, a lot of you guys probably say, well, I never heard of that company. But this company here was probably one of the largest auto manufacturing aftermarket companies in the world back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, you know. And like I say, most of you guys say you probably never heard of it. But in actuality, you probably have, because here it is right here. Right now they just go by auto-lite. But anyway, talk about a history. I might leave a link in the description so you guys can read about this company. They had a lot to do with the unions back in the 20s and 30s. They were against unions and finally gave in and went unionized and stuff. But not after a lot of people lost their lives and stuff. Pretty interesting story. But anyway, this horn's a little different than an ah-ooh-gah. You know, the ah-ooh-gah is just like has a motor inside that spins a wheel and makes a noise. This one here probably is a little different. I haven't taken it apart yet, but I'm familiar with them. This probably has a couple a couple of coils inside, electromagnets, and they just vibrate. So the guy sold this, said it didn't work. And sometimes these are an easy fix, and sometimes they aren't. Depends on if the little coils are good. So I got my batteries over here. I'm going to try it, but I'm going to throw you guys up on a tripod first. I think I might do a full restoration on it. It's just because it's such good shape. It's just a wire wheel and paint. So let's see if we get it running, and maybe we'll paint it up. Alright, first thing I do is always check, see the battery's charged. Let's see what we got here. 6.21, okay, fully charged. Alright, get that out of the way there. And then we'll hook up some terminals here. Get these out of the way. After a while you start getting some of the wires in the way. Okay. Get this out of the way here. And then just touch this. Where you guys at? And alright, we get nothing. Alright, that might not mean anything, so let me show you what I do then. Then I'll get another battery here, and I'll set it up in series. Series will double your voltage, but keep the same amperage. You go from positive to a negative, I believe, and then that'll double your voltage. Check that. Let's see what we got. Okay, that's 12.5. Okay. Get these out of the way. Get these out of the way. Alright, so now we got hooked up to 12 volts. And, well, sorry about that. Sometimes I forget where you guys are at. Oh. Alright, so even at 12 volts we had nothing. So let's open it up and see what's going on inside. Alright, this top don't look like stuff to come off. It's only got one screw here on the side. And even at that, looks like you don't even have to take the whole thing out. Just spin it. There you go. Oh wow. That's really clean in there. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I bought it. You know, just by looking at the outside and stuff like that, you could tell, you know, it hasn't been sitting in mud or rusted or something like that. But okay, like I was telling you, the inside of these is a little different than the ah-ooh-gah. These here are just two electromagnets, and what happens is when it's charged, when you put a charge to it, it pulls it down and vibrates. You know, it creates a magnetic field and pulls that down like that, and you have a little contact here, and then it'll just keep vibrating. It's pretty cool. And usually what happens is, I don't know if you can see it, maybe I'll take you guys off and get you a close-up, but the contact, just that little contact there, gets dirty. And if that gets dirty or rusty or something, then you're not going to get contact, and it's not going to create any noise. Alright, let me take this off and we'll take a better look at it. Alright, let me see if I can show you that contact. It might take a little bit for this to focus in, so be patient. Here we go. Here we go. Took a little bit. Okay, this here is the electromagnet, pulls it down, but this part over here is the contact, and that's what's got to be clean. It's funny, they're not even square. You know, the corners are touching. That's okay. As long as you get it, as long as you clean it, you'll be okay. All right, let's clean it. All right. What I usually do is get some lacquer thinner, and I'll get a piece of cardboard. This piece of cardboard, something that isn't glossy. This one was glossy on one side, so I just peeled the gloss off. But I stick it in lacquer thinner, and then I'm going to try and show you this. I'm going to go from the opposite side. But anyway, stick it in here. I'm going to stick it in so I can see it. Not much of a space there. Okay, instead of wasting your time, I just got it in there. Instead of wasting your time, let me get it in there and I'll show you. Okay. Yeah, I had to make my paper thinner because it was hitting here and I couldn't get it in sideways, but once I got it in there, it's okay. Then you just drag it through a couple times, and that'll clean it. And you can actually see how dirty it is on both sides. Okay, I'm going to get another piece of cardboard and keep cleaning it until I don't see anything. Okay, the inner point's cleaned up pretty good, but if you get ones that are really rusted bad and everything, you can take a little file like this and clean them up. But these are too good to even touch with that file. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this top back on. There you go. And I'm going to take the front horn off. Probably really don't have to do that, you know, but I'm going to spray this and clean this. So I'm going to take it apart because I don't know if you can see the inside there, but it is rusty. So there's a little plate in there, and I'll probably I'll have to clean that up and then just put it back together. See if we can take it apart without messing up the gaskets, so I don't have to make any. All right. Let me unbolt it and then we'll pop it off. Alright, got one more screw here. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we can. Alright, that's a good sign. Alright, Oh, that's good. This gasket, so we did good with that gasket now. See this little rust I'm telling you about? It really wouldn't make a difference, but we'll clean it up. Oh, this came off nice. Oh no. Alright, our gasket broke in half, but I think we can still use that. Okay. Wow. That's in good shape. I'm wondering now if this was taken apart before, because it has some sand and marks here, so somebody must have cleaned it at one time. Interesting. It's interesting what you see when you take this old stuff apart. That's cool. Alright. Let's clean this all up. But there was only, let me see, 4 bolts and you got 6 holes. But what that is, I don't know if you can see like that mark there. That was where a bracket was. We don't have the bracket, so we're not going to worry about it. Alright. And we also got a, I don't know if you can see it, we got a slight dent in the horn here. And we'll, the trumpet part of the horn I should say, because the whole thing's a horn, right? So we're going to try and bend that out so you don't even notice it. Alright, take a break. Alright. I didn't move because I just zoomed you in over here to the table, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a piece of wood. We got a reasonably flat surface here with this bench. And I'm right on the edge there. And it shouldn't take much. See, by using the wood instead of the hammer, you're gonna flatten it without. Well, I can't even tell where it was at. Alright, yeah, by using the wood instead of just a steel hammer, you're gonna flatten it and straighten it out without marring anything up, so you won't even know that was there. Good job, Road King. I see a tiny little thing right here. Go. Better than new. Alright. It is cleaned up real nice. I had it on a wire wheel. And if I don't protect it somehow, it's going to rust up again. So I think I'm going to give it a real light coat of linseed oil. And that should protect it for a while anyway. Alright. Now I got this. And I'm going to separate it because I got to clean the bottom here, and then this top piece should come off, and I'm going to paint that too. So what I'm trying to do now is disconnect these wires here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a screw head in there. There we go. That one came off pretty easy. Yeah, they're very fragile wires in there. I don't even know what gauge they are, but okay. Alright, you gotta watch because sometimes some of these are insulated, some of them aren't. This one looks like it might be a ground, so this might not be insulated. But this next one, I don't know if that's in your way. Sorry about that. This one here might be insulated, so we got to make sure that whatever's on there we put back in the right order. Alright, let me mess with that. Okay. Yeah, this one wasn't insulated here, just as we suspected. Had a copper washer behind it and no washer up front. But I think this one here, I don't know how I can do this without getting in your way, but because I could just get the screwdriver head in there. Okay. Try to do this fast so as not to take up too much of your time. Okay. Yeah, just as I suspected, this one here has some kind of fiber washer on it. And it probably has a little cylinder in between it to keep it from grounding out against there. Alright, let me mess with this and then I'll show you what we come up with after I get it out. Okay. almost got this one out. Sorry, blocking your view. Okay, that was a longer screw. I had a, I can't tell if that's a fiber washer or a hard rubber or whatever, but whatever it is, it's an insulator. And there was nothing in the middle. Keep it centered. I should be able to get this off now. Yeah. Okay. And there is a, I don't know if that's, where you at? I don't know if that's plastic or rubber. It seems to be glued in place, but even then, I don't know if you can see that. I probably went out without a light. Let me put a light behind it. Alright. What do I do with it? Alright, yeah. Even with a light behind it, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's almost touching that metal there. It shouldn't be like that. Like I said, that should have been centered. So maybe I'll stick something in there to center it. Alright. Anyway, to make it easier to paint that. Alright, you know what? This video is probably getting pretty long. So what I'm going to do is I'll paint this with linseed oil. I'll show you what that is in a second. Alright, this is what we're going to put on that this little shiny piece. Just a real thin coat of linseed oil. Boiled linseed oil. And what that does, here's some up on the lid here, is it doesn't really harden, you know. It'll thicken up a little bit, but never really hardens. So, and it'll protect to keep it from rusting. Okay. What we're going to do is, maybe I'll make new gaskets for that. But right now, I think I got to be careful with these wires here. Especially this short one down here. I think I'll hit this on the wire wheel and clean this up a little bit. And then I guess in the next video we'll put it all back together. I tested it and it works. That's why I'm continuing on, but I'm not going to let you guys hear that till we're done. If I let you hear it, then you're not going to watch the rest of the video, right? Alrighty. Enough of this.